From the campus of Glassboro High School in Glassboro, New Jersey, Comcast Channel 5 presents high school basketball. Today, the Glassboro Bulldogs host the Schalick Cougars. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner Shawn Leary. A energized gymnasium here. Two powers in the Tri-County Conference. Schalick visiting Glassboro in a game that historically has been dominated by Glassboro, but the last couple of years, history has certainly changed. Paul Gauze and the Schalick Cougars have become one of the true powerhouses here in South Jersey.
You said it right, the name Paul Gauze, Rob. This guy's electric. I mean, he's done such a great job for this athletic program, not only here in basketball, but what he's been able to help and accomplish in football as well. I mean, there's a lot that Josh Hedgeman, the coach of Schalick football, has done for that team, but you know, Paul Gauze has really brought a winning attitude to Schalick High School, not only on the football field, but also his most dominant sport at the game of basketball. He has been nothing short of phenomenal throughout his career.
Well, for the Glassboro Bulldogs, again, a team that's historically been a power, having a bit of a down year within the division. 3 losses, a heartbreaker the other night to Wildwood, losing by 2, but they're led by a host of athletes, in particular Tim Cook.
Yeah, Tim Cook's a guy who could just jump through the gym. And he's a great high jumper during the track season. So this guy really can elevate. He skies. He can play above the rim. But he also has a nice inside game. He's a guy who's going to pull down a lot of rebounds, has a soft touch. He's just a guy who plays the game well. If you're a coach, you like to have a guy that could do some different things in the post position. And Tim Cook does a couple different things. He's got the short jumper. He gets a lot of putbacks. And as I said, he's explosive. This guy can really jump. He can really sky. So he's a factor there as well.
The last time these two teams met, Schalick won by 20. Glassboro kept it tight throughout, but then fourth quarter they started to pull away. Glassboro is going to have to play a full 4 quarters tonight. We'll have it for you after this. Welcome back to Glassboro High School. About to get underway here. A big game for both of these teams, but I think even more so for Glassboro, a team that's really trying to find its stride, coming off a loss to Wildwood. First time they lost here in Glassboro since 2003. They controlled the tip. Tim Cook has it stripped away, and Schalick defensively now on the move with Paul Gauze. Gauze distributes. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound, tipped up, struggle underneath. Put back by Jamar Johnson.
Yeah, DeMar just had great position that time on Tim Cook. Got the inside and was able to get a couple of putbacks. One goes down for him.
Stolen away. Here's Gauze. Left hand distributes. No, keeps. Layup in 4-0.
That's where he can be so nasty. I mean, this guy, 32 points, Rob, per game. Averages about 6 rebounds a game, 5 assists, and about 3.5 steals.
Rebound. No good. Rebound. Gauze. You see how he can elevate as Johnson unable to knock it down. Laid up. Playing above the rim. Tim Cook. It's getting wild here early. Gauze steals. Inside laid up. Short. Rebound. Here comes Glassboro. Glassboro will push up tempo and off the hands of Cook. Turnover Glassboro.
Yeah, Glassboro a little shaky to start so far, but what a block that time by Cook and Johnson.
There you see the starters for Glassboro: Turner, Simmons, Shepard, Johnson, and Cook. Rhodes will be the first off the bench. Typically a starter. Mills, Hoyer, Gauze, Rosenfeld, and Johnson. Long 3-point shot is good for Speedy Mills, and wisely Glassboro calls timeout. That's a good timeout by Russ Winstead.
Yeah, game's just getting a little out of control for Glassboro, and probably one of the coolest nicknames in the Tri-County Conference. Schalick's own Eric Speedy Mills drains one from deep.
The referees tonight, 4-hour Schalick and Glassboro contest, Tom DiTullio and Jack McCormick. 7-0 early lead here for Schalick, and one of the keys for Coach Russ Winstead was we need to get off to a quick start. Well, that obviously has not transpired here. As I mentioned, Shawn, they lost 62-59 to Wildwood on Friday night. That was their first home loss since the 2002-2003 season, so something that they're unaccustomed to.
And they come out with that mid-court press route, 1-3-1. They got Gauze at the top. That's where he gets a lot of his steals and quick putbacks, because it's hard to stop him in the open court. Once he gets on the break, it's virtually impossible at this level to get him to turn that ball over or for him to miss.
Right now, the defense of Schalick is absolutely swarming. A foul here against Matt Rosenfeld, the first of the game.
He didn't like the call, but he comes in, they're attacking. When you attack, you're going to get some fouls, Rob. You gotta expect it. You gotta assume that you're going to get some of them calls to go against you. It's just that feeling of try and press, try and get the ball out of the hands of the point guards. Try to them to make the mistakes when you get it to the bigger guys, and that's what Schalick forces you to do. And then you get into their style of game of run and gun.
I think right now Glassboro would just feel at ease by just simply scoring one basket. They need to settle down here. Inside, Johnson in and out of his hands. Another turnover for the Bulldogs. Here's Paul Gauze. Gauze, hesitation dribble. Three-point shot, rims in and out. Tipped up, and again it's Gauze. Gauze from another area code. Tim Cook pulls it down. And again, Glassboro's still looking for their first basket here, well into 2 minutes into this first quarter. Too strong. Rebound by Hoyer, and the Cougars quickly pushed up. Inside, it's Johnson. Johnson softly off the glass. He has 4.
Somebody has to make sure they get that release. Right now, Schalick's doing a lot of release and getting that guy up court, and they're by themselves. Make sure you get back on defense against this team, because they love to run.
Inside, distributes to Cook off the glass and in. So, Glassboro off the schneid at the 5:15 mark. 9-2 Cougars. Speedy Mills quickly. No good. Rebound. Here comes the Bulldogs. Outlet pass to Johnson. Johnson lays it up and in. And that's that up-tempo game that Glassboro really likes, quickly pushing the ball off the rebound.
Yeah, both teams like that style of play, which makes this game so interesting and so much fun to watch.
Gauze is short, and the rebound, Glassboro. Quickly, here comes Mike Turner and the Bulldogs. Knocked away. Johnson with the ball, back to Gauze. Gauze working against 2 men. Penetrates, wild shot, no good. Rebound again, it's Rodney Shepard. Quickly to Johnson. Johnson laid up and in.
The big fella running the break. Good
6-point run here for the Bulldogs. They're back in it. It's 9-6.
Got to give Johnson some credit. Getting up and down the court in a hurry.
Jamar Johnson working against Johnson. Gauze distributes to Hoyer. Hoyer looks to create his own shot. Hands off to Gauze. Gauze will look to penetrate. Kicks to Mills. Mills no good. Rebound, George Johnson. George Johnson and Jamar Johnson working throughout the evening. Knocked away by Gauze. It will remain Glassboro basketball. I think if you're Coach Collins of Schalick, you may want to think about a timeout here to now get your team settled in. Instead, he'll let it play out. 3:54 left. The Cougars with a 3-point edge. Up top, Cook looks to penetrate, and he is fouled.
Yeah, that's where Cook needs to establish himself. Go to the inside. He should be able to get some easy looks on the inside, because one of the things that Schalick does, Rob, is because they go out and they try to break so much, you're going to get those easy shots on the inside if they don't get the steal.
There you see Cook, the 6'2 senior, averaging 15 points per game. No good on the first free throw. Take a look again here, Shawn.
Now, here's one of the rare occasions that they do come down on defense and come down. The guards back down. They come and help out on defense. But usually they like to push it out so much that them guards will sometimes release a little early.
Cook misses both free throws, and that hurts. Here comes Paul Gauze and the Cougars. Gauze penetrates. A little wild tonight, Paul Gauze. You don't see this very often. They'll quickly break the press. Kicking the ball, and, well, Tim Cook is an excellent high jumper, but there is no way he could elevate to get that. And now Collins calls the timeout for Schalick. Well, Schalick ran. This has been a game of runs here. 9-0. Schalick quickly out in front, and Glassboro conversely a 6-0 run currently.
Yeah,
Glassboro's just got to make sure they play within themselves. And this is an up-tempo type game, so both teams like to get out on the break, try and move the ball up the court, and try to get some easy looks. But you can't play too helter-skelter where you're turning the ball over. Because in a game against Schalick, they're going to get their points. You got to make sure that you can run with them and play with them. However, you still need to do it in a controlled way. Push it when you need to push it, but when you need to settle into your offense, when they're back defensively and they're trying to pack it in, that's when you have to get into your offensive set.
There you see head coach Sean Collins. We'll have a special guest to start the second half, his father. Of course, Jack Collins, a legendary coach here in South Jersey and really renowned for his political career.
Well, he's got a pretty talented son over there. I mean, he's done a terrific job not only in basketball, helping out in football. They got some good young coaches at Schalick High School, and that's one of the reasons, two of the reasons that they're doing a lot of good things, and now in football and basketball. Schalick's always been good at the other sports like cross country, swimming, track and field. They've always done pretty well, but now they're starting to excel in some of these other sports, basketball, football.
Jamar Johnson elevates, but before that happens, it looks like we're going to have a foul against Gauze. No, it's going against Johnson. That's his second foul. That's a big foul.
Yeah, because
he's really their lone threat inside.
Right. He's their lone big guy, and especially against Glassboro, who, you know, Tri-County Conference Classic Division doesn't have too many trees, if you know what I mean. There's only a couple of guys that can
too much development around here.
Tim Hatchett's a guy from Pittman who's doing pretty well, a big guy at Pittman, but there isn't that too many big players. And Glassboro does have the matchup with George Johnson and Tim Cook that can create problems for Schalick if they do get into foul trouble, such as Johnson is right now with 2 fouls.
Gauze pull-up jump shot, wild again, tipped up, rebound Glassboro. They'll look to push, instead they kick it over. It's Turner. Turner across the timeline, working against Gauze on the wing. And Simmons up top now to Turner, and Glassboro will come from an offensive set. Long three-point shot, short, tipped up, rebound, inside, and that's big Kevin Mitchell, the wide body. Hoyer pulls up. And pulling up his dribble is Jensen. Jensen, lucky to get away without a 5-second call there.
Here's a guy right now who's got the ball, quarterback Jeff Goyer during the football season. You know, Paul Gauze has got a lot of the headlines, but Jeff Hoyer's been there with him pretty much since he was a freshman.
Inside, George Johnson kicks out, three-point shot, in and out. Inside Cook, rebound, and this will go. It will remain Glassboro basketball.
They're letting them play, Rob.
Yes, they are. Well, last game, Paul Gauze had 38 points, but what Coach Winsett was really concerned with was some of the role players. And right now, Paul Gauze, a rarity with just 2 points with 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Three-point shot, no good. Johnson, and we're going to have a jump ball. No foul here, and this is going to go against John Jensen. Well, thus far, Glassboro
John Jensen.
That's right. Thus far, Glassboro just 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
You can see, yeah, they're struggling a little bit at the free throw. You can see Johnson here. He's doing a little pushing himself, but he does have good position. Pulls down the rebound, and Jetson called for the foul.
Cook has it stolen by Gauze. 2-on-1. Gauze looks to penetrate, fouled, and they'll head to the line. Foul committed by Mike Turner, and that's the problem right now, Sean, is a lot of turnovers for this Glassboro team.
Yeah, you see, this is where he's so dangerous in the open court. You know, you're either going to have to foul him in that situation or force him into a bad shot. Now, he will take some bad shots once in a while, as we've seen in this game. But usually, you know, Glassboro is the type of team. They have some nice athletes on the team that can run up and down the court that are used to this style of play. So, you know, they can handle it a little bit. You got teams like Gloucester and you know, Pittman and some of these teams. Clayton's another team that can run up and down a little bit. But they're just not used to seeing guys like Paul Gauze, so they have a field day against some of these teams.
Gauze now. Dish inside, fine little look. and Rosenfeld deposits the deuce. It's 11-7. So
and that's what he's going to need to do come playoff time, come tournament time, is to get his teammates involved. And he's done that pretty much the last couple of years.
Johnson had the look, instead kicks it up top. And now Simmons goes cross court, three-point shot is tipped. Johnson unable to hold on to the ball, and that's certainly been a problem tonight. Hoyer will push. Hoyer spots a man, laid up and in, John Jensen. 5 different scores thus far for Schalick. They lead 13-7 with just over a minute left in this first quarter. And stolen away. Here's Paul Gause. Gause slams. Gause with 4 is 15-7.
Great anticipation by him on that play. You know it's going to be swung back to the opposite side. Gets a steal and coast.
Wild shot and Cook rebounds. Cook looks to penetrate. He's fouled, and it's before the shot, so it'll go against Paul Gause.
This is as physical a game as I've seen so far this year, right? I mean,
I tell you, it has the feel of a football game. High intensity, a little bit of banging underneath. And as you said, the referees are letting them play.
Well, these teams, and it's a good point that you say that, because these teams, a lot of these guys are football players.
Cook pushes inside Johnson. No good, tipped up. Jensen tips, rebound. It's Badger, and he'll find Hoyer. Hoyer across the timeline now with 24 seconds. Three-point shot good. Matt Rosenfeld with 5. He leads all scores for Schalick. Really balanced attack as they hold an 18-7 edge. Glassboro spots up a 2-point shot, hard off the rim. With a lot of time left, that was a mistake. Now Hoyer penetrates up, no good. Rebound Johnson, and that'll do it. Glassboro got away with one as they took a poor shot with 7 seconds remaining. Sean Collins is animated with the referees. We'll head to break. Schalick on top by 11. Welcome back. We start the second quarter. Glassboro trailing by 11. Tim Cook with the basketball. Tipped up, stolen away. It's Badger. Badger looks to go. Hard off the backboard. Rebound by Schalick. Inside, Rosenfeld hard. Tipped up, denied. And now we're going to have
a good
foul committed.
That's a good effort by Matt Bailey that time. Terrific job underneath the boards. Outmanned 1 on 3. Comes up, makes a tough play defensively, and is able to pull down the rebound. Nice play underneath. Bailey, a senior here at Glassboro, 6'4".
Glassboro. And that was a 2.
Excuse me, that was Andre Campbell, Rob. Andre Campbell, the senior, underneath the boards. My apologies to Campbell and his family.
18-9. Inside Rosenfeld, off the glass, gets the shooter's roll. He has 7, he leads all scores. 29 is the score with Glassboro trailing. Long look for Cook. He elevates, 8-foot jump shot, hard off the rim, rebound, and Schalick pushes. Here's Hoyer. Hoyer drives, no good, tipped up, rebound, Bulldogs. Again, up-tempo. Turner dishes inside, off the hands of Pep Garrison. Cook up top. Turner will look to penetrate. Turner off the glass, no good. Campbell inside, go!
That time I'll say his name right. Andre Campbell, nice job underneath, giving him a little bit of a presence in the paint. 4 points per game, 4 rebounds coming into today's game. And Rob, that's the type of thing I think they need more of on the inside, even from Cook and also Johnson, is to go strong to the cup.
In and out. They've had a tough time on the free throw line. Campbell now drives inside, good.
He's going
3-point play into the 4-point play.
Campbell's going hard to the rim, and that's exactly what you need against this defense of Schalick. they're going to go for the steal. They're not going to position their body good enough to prevent you from going hard to the cup.
Now Schalick has it stolen away. Here comes Turner. Turner will look to penetrate, drives inside, no good, tipped up, Cook follows. Paul Gauze on the bench, by the way. Bit of a surprise here early. He's been ice cold, and now he gets off the bench. 2015, Cook knocks it away, inside, laid up and in. Turner off of the steal from Cook. 2017. Hoyer. And a foul committed here. Good call. Foul committed by Darrell Rhodes. Rhodes typically a starter coming off the bench tonight.
Collins right now hollering at Kevin Mitchell, telling him you got to come back, big fella. Come back for the ball. Got to help out your teammates when they're getting pressured the way Glassboro's getting them in midcourt.
That's a wide young man. He's got some broad shoulders on him.
Thick.
Well, Darrell Rhodes will mark Paul Gauze. 2017 with 5:40 left. Now Gauze on the top. Long three-point shot. Rims in and out. Inside Jamar Johnson. And that's what Jamar Johnson brings to this Schalick Cougar offense. Pounding the glass, increasing the lead by 5.
Yeah, Johnson averaging about 5.3 rebounds per game. Coming in about 7 points per game. He's their inside presence.
Cook, pull-up jump shot, no good, short. Rebound Gauze, Gauze with numbers, Gauze dishes, laid up, no good, rebound. Cook quickly distributes, here's Turner. Turner will continue to push inside, wild shot, rims up, and in. Turner gets the roll, he has 5. Again, it's Schalick. This is up-tempo basketball at its best. Gauze with an open 3, wild off the backboard. Gauze really off tonight. Turner kicks it out to the wing for 3, in and out. Gauze rebounds. Welcome to the track meet. Laid up and in. Don't blink, you'll miss something.
It's like St. Lucia. No stop signs at all in this gym. Everyone's going up, pulling up and shoot.
This is Paul Westhead basketball. It's Loyola against Marymount. 24-19, 4:30 left. Glassboro, penetration inside, no good. Rebound, Cook, he's going over the back and a foul committed.
The only difference there is they made just about every single shot they threw up. That was an exciting team.
4:26 and everybody can exhale now.
I was talking about Loyola Marymount. You do remember watching them with Bo Kimball and Hank Gathers. They used to come on a lot during really late games.
Paul Gauze, three-point shot. It was the first game I ever did stats from college basketball, and it's the last game I think I ever did. That was unbelievable.
So much fun to watch. Of course, that Hank Gathers passed away on the court, and both guys were from Philadelphia. Real sad story there, but boy, they were fun to watch.
Stolen away, and now Jamar Johnson gets it back. A lot of contact. Gauze looks to penetrate, and beforehand, he's going to get the foul committed here. Brandon Simmons called for the foul against Paul Gauze.
Gauze checking his lips, goes for the fake. Some tight defense, called for the block. You can see, I mean, the way they've been calling this tonight, they've been letting it go a little bit. But you got to be conscious that if you are throwing that leg out there, yeah, you're going to get called for it.
Looking to inbound to Gauze, and it's thrown away.
Nice job that time by Brandon Simmons. Forcing the turnover all over Gauze. Covering him up like a sweater. Nice job by the young fella. Brandon Simmons, a senior.
Stolen away by Gauze. Gauze lays it up and in. You see the quickness of Paul Gauze. He has 6. 26-19. Cook penetrates. Nice little move. Tim Cook shielding the defender. He has 8-6 in the second quarter.
Yeah, terrific move by Cook.
Gauze, great look underneath for Johnson.
Again, this is where he can be so effective if he's able to get his teammates involved, because a lot of people are going to collapse on him He can find a lot of open men.
Glassboro and Gauze again. Just so stealth-like.
It's fun watching him play.
Yeah, it is.
Play around him. You got to look for that backside steal anytime you dribble behind this guy.
Glassboro, penetration too strong, tipped up. Rebound, again, running one-hander. And again, Glassboro punishing the boards, and Brandon Simmons makes the deposit. 28-23, 2:45 left. Inside for Rosenfeld. He'll go inside, outside with Mills. Mills on the top of the key, trying to find Hoyer. Instead, it's stolen away again. Here's Cook. Cook, left hand, runner, off the glass, good. Cook with 10, 28-25. Remember, Schalick started with a 9-0 run in this first quarter, and Hoyer draws the foul.
I think they're calling George Johnson, yeah. Calling George Johnson for the foul. You see Cook here. Picks up his dribble. This is what I like from Cook. Go strong to the cup. No one can play with you here at Schalick when you get that big frame moving to the hoop.
Hoyer made the first. He is the 6th Schalick Cougar to register points already here. And he makes both ends, so he takes advantage from the free throw line. 30-25 with 2:15. Inside again, and a nice little move there by Darrell Rhodes. 30-27. Gauze working off the pick, looks to penetrate inside, stolen away. Cook. And now Wisely feeds to Simmons. Simmons finds Rhodes. Rhodes wisely gets rid of it. Pull-up jump shot, hard off the rim. Elevation, and a scramble ensues. Underneath, Schalick comes away with it, and a timeout call.
Good decision that time by Jetson. It was two Glassboro guys all over him. Just make sure you get the timeout. Keep possession right now. You're up by 3. 30-27. Cougars holding the lead. But what I like about Glassboro so far, Rob, is now you've seen in this second quarter, they're really attacking the rim. But they're also playing well defensively. They're getting a lot of steals. And I mean, you got to go with what the referees are calling. If they're going to let you go inside, you know, don't let those little slap fouls be called. Hey, you got to start doing it also.
30-27, 1:44 remaining in this first half. Schalick in the penalty. Russ Winstead Jr., Glassboro Bulldogs head coach, played his high school basketball at Eastern High School in Voorhees.
He's done a real nice job here, and he's trying to bring back a sense of tradition back to Glassboro. Let all these guys know, hey, there's a lot of good players that have played before you. As you can see on these walls, boy, they're littered with Tri-County Conference championships and football, baseball, basketball, cross country. And he has an alumni game, the first one they had last year. Brought back some of the old players, and they really appreciated coming back and trying to establish something to these young guys that, hey, look, you know, there's a sense of pride here. Work hard and keep that tradition going. And Schalick's building a nice little tradition for themselves. Tom just trying to get it inside. With the little guy muscled up and in. Paul Gall's verbal commitment to James Madison. There was a lot of talk, Rob, that he was being recruited heavily by some Division I football programs.
Well, speaking with Sean Collins, he said that still continues. Iowa, University of Southern Cal, Rutgers, a bevy of Big East and Big Ten schools.
Uh-oh. Somebody, I think, has a horn, one of them horns in the Glassboro section over there.
You can see the police, along with the athletic director,
Jeff Cusack, trying to find out who did that.
Jump into him with the chest.
1:29 remaining. 31-27 the score. question.
Everyone's pointing at it. I didn't do it. It was him.
Well, I'm not sure what recourse they have. I mean, theoretically, they could call a technical foul. They could even empty the gym.
For a horn?
It's their call.
Just keep your eye out. See if somebody does it. And
looks like they found the perpetrator.
hands behind your back. It's a horn.
Black ball.
I know who it wasn't. It wasn't you, Rob.
No, I left my horn at home.
But I'm not going to rule out me.
Yeah?
I'm shady once in a while. Okay. Have some fun.
The ventriloquist horn came from the opposite side of the gym. 31-27, 129 left.
We'll leave that alone for a little while. I get in trouble.
Schalick with the basketball. Hoyer. And Schalick right now content to run this set offense. Badger to Hoyer. Hoyer trying to break down the defense. Back to Badger. Badger looks inside and it's stolen away by Johnson.
Not a good pass.
Johnson feeds, laid up and in. Mike Turner with 7.6 in the second quarter. And this is the closest that Glassboro has been since it's 2-0.
Shops just got to settle down in their offense as well. We said that about Glassboro early on. You know, they just got to work the ball around and settle for, you know, get good open look. And they can do that with some good-looking threes or drives to the hoop like that if they can just stay patient.
That's a good-looking drive by Hoyer. 4-point edge. Up top, Johnson. And he'll dish. Shepard with the basketball. Looking to penetrate.
Turn the ball over. And that's just good defense by Badger that time. Coming back down and helping out defensively and forces the turnover.
Well, this is a big defensive set here.
But you'd expect that from a guy named Badger.
That's right.
You know?
Hoyer, three-point shot and he's fouled. That's a poor decision by Darrell Rhodes. Hoyer forcing the shot and Darrell Rhodes.
Yeah, because he tried to come behind him and went over the top of his arm. And that's going to be 3.
That's right. And Hoyer is lethal from the three-point line, or excuse me, the foul line.
He's also lethal from the three-point line.
Yes, he is. 3 for 3 tonight from the foul line. And I mentioned this is a big defensive set. They would love to go to the locker room down by 4. It may end up being 7. He misses the second.
23 of 62 from three-point range in 10 games for Jeff Hoyer.
And he misses 2 of 3, but does get the rebound. Hoyer, pull-up jump shot, no good. Rebound Johnson, 10 seconds remaining. Glassboro now. Up top, Turner looks for Cook, defended, tipped away, and that'll do it. Well, it's been a wild first half, and I mean that in every sense of the word. 34-29, we head to the locker rooms with Schalick on top. Welcome back to Glassboro High School, just underway. Schalick turning the ball over quickly here with the 5-point edge. It's been a wild game thus far, and Tim Cook deposits the first basket here to draw within 3. Very, very special guest with us, former Speaker of the House, Jack Collins, and Hall of Fame basketball coach as well. So interesting to hear his insights here. Not to mention the fact, of course, that his son, Sean Collins, is the head basketball coach for Schalick. We were mentioning before, this game is just flying by. It's almost like watching Loyola Marymount against each other tonight.
Well, Schalick plays very fast-paced, as does Glassboro. So you're expecting to see, the ball up and down quite a bit.
You know, as a traditionalist, does it make you feel uncomfortable to watch kind of this helter-skelter style from both teams?
Not really. The last year I coached at Glassboro State, now rowing, we ran a fast-breaking offense with every player having a particular spot to go to after basically being somewhat conservative my first 7 years there.
Okay.
So I like it. I just don't like some of the shots that particularly Schalick has been taking. But Gauze is going to heat up a little bit, I think.
Well, that just started as he gets his first two, and we have a travel, another turnover here. It's been relatively sloppily played game. You know, again, I'm not sure that this is something you've discussed with your son, but how important do you think it is for this team to try to go undefeated through the season?
Oh, well, they have this game tonight. They have Wildwood, who's one game behind Schalick in the Tri-County Classic next Tuesday. And then we have these games, let alone other teams. And then how about this group? Clearview, who's playing for the lead in the Royal tonight in the Tri-County.
We saw earlier.
Willingboro, Middle Township, and Atlantic City. So I don't think I don't think my son's thinking undefeated. He's just probably hoping we can get through tonight undefeated.
There you see a shot of your son. We were talking before. I said, you know, do you see a little bit of yourself in your son? And you kind of joked around because your son, very calm, cool, and collected. And you had mentioned you were a little more animated on the sideline.
Very much so. And Paul Gauze this is as bad as I've seen him shoot in the 4 years. He's a very intense young man. And he is really like rushing here tonight.
What do you attribute that to?
His intensity. He's just trying to do too much, and it's not good for Schalick. But
well, Schalick pushes it up quickly, and this time we're going to have a foul committed. No goaltend as they hit the backboard, and that was something that you had questioned earlier. But heading to the free throw line will be Matt Rosenfeld.
They didn't call the goaltend. They called a two-shot foul.
Right, exactly.
Right. Well, the referee told me, I asked him at halftime, if you hit the backboard, isn't it a goal? He said only if it affects going in. So he told me it was a gray matter. With all due respect to all referees, I don't like them telling me anything's gray. It's either black or white, make the call.
I thought you were going to say you're not sure if referees had gray matter.
No, that gray stuff's what politicians say all the time.
Okay. Even you, Jack?
I was gray quite a bit,
okay.
Particularly as speaker, because then you have all the members wanting you to be sort of here and there.
Inside, Cook, again having a tough time. It's almost as if the ball was slick tonight. So many turnovers this evening.
Well, both teams are playing very, very hard, and it's a fast-paced game, and there's just going to be turnovers. Both teams, Schalick's pressing all the time, and Glassboro's done some pressing. So,
you know, Jack, in your lifetime, you've held so many different hats: basketball coach, college professor, Speaker of the House. And now you're probably enjoying the hat you're wearing right now, and that is being retired.
Very much so.
Gauze with a pull-up three-point shot, no good. Jamar Johnson elevates. Scramble ensues underneath. On the floor, Johnson pushes out to Hoyer, and Hoyer will travel.
Paul Gauze is, this is, as I say, as poor as I've seen him shoot. Glassboro's having some effect on it, but I think a lot of it's him.
And Cook drives to the basket, deposits another deuce. Glassboro on a roll, trailing by 6. Gauze kicks out for the three-point shot. It's short. Jamar Johnson, his 4th point of this quarter. Now, you had mentioned something before, interestingly enough. We saw a dunk by Paul Gauze tonight. That was his first dunk ever in his high school career, according to you. Is that correct?
Yes. The one thing Paul always wanted to do, he told my son, was to dunk. You know, as you may know, in the the viewers, he has an opportunity to be the 2nd player in South Jersey history after DeJuan Wagner to score over 3,000 points. No interest whatsoever in that. Doesn't mean anything to him. In fact, the points really don't mean anything to him, and some people find that hard to believe. I've watched the young man for 4 years. I've been in basketball for 50 years. He really doesn't care about them. He wants to win, and he wanted to dunk, and now he's dunked, so I hope he can concentrate on winning.
Simmons misses the first. Glassboro has really struggled from the free throw line. There you see the drive by Simmons.
Well, they get a lot of free throws. They're very aggressive and go to the basket. And of course, Schalick's press gets them running, and Glassboro can go to the basket.
What's the biggest difference you see in basketball today versus when you coached, Jack?
Better athletes. A palm.
You were saying better athletes.
I'm just shocked.
Cook looks underneath, thrown up wildly, rebound by the big guy. That's Mitchell. Mitchell distributes to Gauze. Gauze. You see the quickness of Gauze. Inside distributes a wild one-hander. Scoop shot by Johnson.
The game's a little sloppy right now, but the athletes I think are better, but in the athletic sense. But
fundamentally, do you think they're as sound fundamentally?
I don't think they are, and very honestly, I don't think they shoot as well, even with the three-point shot. If I were ever to coach again, we'd be firing. Well, Schalick shoots a lot of threes, but if I were ever to coach, we'd be shooting every time down three.
And what's the rationale there?
Well, I think it's pretty easy. You get 3 points while the other guy's only getting 2.
Makes sense to me. 45-39, just under 4 minutes left. Schalick and Glassboro in another dogfight. Stolen away. Rhodes working against Hoyer. Distributes. Laid up. And in it with the foul. Mike Turner. 9 points. Turner will try to convert the three-point play here, and wholesale changes for the Cougars. Let's take a look. Rhodes with a good look. Finds Turner, and Turner, good hustle by Hoyer, but he would have been better off just letting him lay that in uncontested.
I guess my son's not happy with the Schalick Cougars taking 4 of them out. He hasn't seen the movie Coach Carter, so I don't know, but Glassboro deserves some credit for making Schalick look bad. They're playing aggressively. Darryl Rhodes had just made that steal.
Followed up and good. Johnson with the rebound. George Johnson with 6, a 2-point game now. Hoyer working against his Glassboro defense, penetrates, kicks to the side, 3-point shot, good. Andrew Badger with his first points of the night.
Very good athlete, good football player.
Turner up top, Rhodes for 3, he's fouled. It's going to be 3. And that's, as a coach, you hate to see a foul outside of the three-point
Yeah, I don't
strike.
know why you would foul a three-point shooter, but Badger plays very aggressively as a football player, and the man on the line, Darryl Rhodes, was the top running back for the Glassboro football team this year. Very excellent runner.
Well, that's something that Shawn had commented on before, that both of these teams, many of the players met each other out on the football field as well, and maybe that speaks to the physical nature of tonight's game.
Well, yeah, there has been, and the last 2 years, Glassboro's had very good football teams, and Schalick has beaten them. Schalick, of course, is the 2-time defending state South Jersey Group 1 football champion.
Rhodes, and I tell you what, 0 for 4 from the free throw line is Glassboro in this quarter. They are 1 for 8.
Well, this is big here for Schalick to, if he misses, to get the rebound, because Cook and Johnson are there, and there's exactly what I said. Oh,
And it's stolen away, ripped away by Jeremy Simpkins.
he's a sophomore and an aggressive young man.
Hoyer kicks to the wing, 3-point shot, in and out and in. Rosenfeld now heating things up. He has 12 tonight. Turner has it knocked away. He switches to the opposite side. 3-point shot, good. Justin Breaker breaking some of the tension. 2:51 here. Cougars on top, 51-46.
Justin Breaker is a freshman, and interestingly, his brother, Antoine Saab, is the assistant coach at Schalick. So I'm sure Justin was very happy making that one.
So many little games within the game. Tipped up, Johnson continuing it. Underneath, Schalick comes away. It's Badger. Badger looks, knocked away by Gauze. And right now you get a sense that Schalick is very frustrated. At what point do you call a timeout here?
Well, I don't think they'll call timeouts. They called a couple earlier. You know, the big thing is that
Breaker penetrates wildly. Rebound, Simpkins. Now Gauze with that left hand will look to penetrate, spin move, Gauze, and foul.
Gauze usually, of course, I've watched him for 4 years. He usually makes that. Even when he's fouled, he makes it. He hasn't made any tonight on that. And I just think he's rushing everything. And
there you see the spin move. And
yes,
Cook had good position, but the foul was called on Rhodes prior to his collision with Cook. They'll head to the free throw line for 2. Hits the first. 2 for 3 from the line tonight for Paul Gauze, the senior. Leading scorer in South Jersey, hits both. 53-46, Glassboro continues to knock on the door, but they cannot bang it down. Up top, Johnson, high post, kicks to the wing. Glassboro. And Turner will look to penetrate. Drive inside, Johnson keeps it work, and a foul. I tell you, Johnson inside, big George Johnson, tough to contend with.
Yes, he is. George goes to the boards aggressively, has a nice little touch inside. He's been getting fouled. And again, another football player, an outstanding tight end for the Bulldog football team.
Maybe a Division I prospect as a tight end. And foul shooting troubles continue. There you see the foul. Well, this is a totally different game, Speaker, if Glassboro's even remotely successful from the free throw line.
Yeah, they sure are missing quite a few, but you know, it all balances out. Paul Gauze is missing more shots than I've ever seen him miss.
And Johnson hits. It wasn't pretty, but he hit. 53-47. 2 minutes left now. Gauze off the glass and good. Gauze with 6 in this third quarter. 13 on the evening. To the wing, 3-point shot, good. That's Breaker.
Yep.
Gauze trying to break down the defender and a push call. Turner asking for the arm bar and the referee having none of it. 55-50, 1:42 left. There you see a good shot. Russ Winsett in the foreground, Sean Collins in the background. Inbound by Mitchell. And Gauze will go back to retrieve. Glassboro.
See, I personally...
A long 3-point shot, rimmed in and out, rebound by Cook. Cook, long outlet pass, all by himself, laid up and in for Simmons.
It's one thing for Gauze to take the long shot. I don't personally like that. But then to let the guy go running right by him.
55-52, 75 seconds left in this third quarter. Hoyer down to a 3-point game once again. Glassboro has gotten it down to 2. Mitchell kicks to the wing. Johnson, open look, short. Cook, rebound. A 3 will tie it here, and we have a travel.
Yeah, travel. He got a little excited there.
That was a good opportunity for the Bulldogs to come back and tie this one up with 57 seconds remaining.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry on that one. I thought I was in the stands.
50 seconds left. And Jamar Johnson working against George Johnson. Kicks to the wing, it's Hoyer. Hoyer being defended against Cook. Down to 35 seconds. Johnson feeds Hoyer. And Hoyer looks to penetrate. Hoyer Pull-up shot, Wild. Tipped up, rebound. Cook knocked away Mitchell. And no, it's going to be a foul here against Mitchell. And over on the sidelines, you see Sean Collins taking a page out of his father's book. Very animated.
Right.
There you see the rebound, and now the foul against Mitchell.
If Schalick doesn't start running some kind of man-to-man offense, could be the end of an undefeated season right here tonight for the old Cougars.
Last 25 seconds in this third quarter. And now Glassboro will look to hit that three. Cook rims up. It hit the wire up top, but the referees did not pick up on it. Down to 10 seconds. Gauze, three-point shot, Hoyer, long, off the glass. Cook rebounds, 4 seconds. All by himself is Breaker. Breaker late. Welcome back. 55-54. Glassboro with the basketball, trailing by 1. They could take their first lead of this basketball game. And of course, I want to welcome back Shawn Leary, who sat at the third quarter. Cook drives and good. Glassboro, their first lead. Schalick started this game with a 9-0 run.
Rob, one of the things they've been able to do is they've been able to cut it within 2, but they haven't hit that big shot to get them over the hump. Schalick has come back and hit the big 3 to go up by 5 again a couple of times in this game. But that score at the end of the third quarter, I think, was big for them to cut it within 1.
Stolen away, and it's out.
And right now, they're being the aggressors on defense. They're really getting after it, out hustling Schalick, which doesn't happen very often.
Well, it's kind of funny because after that drive by Cook and then the subsequent turnover, I looked over to former speaker Jack Collins, and he was really, really animated. It's fun to watch because, again, it's a real juxtaposition where you have the calm son, Sean Collins, versus the animated father. But you can just see if, you know, he's really beside himself. Just this is when you.
Oh, he just was talking with you. Who could blame him? But you know how I feel after halftime. By halftime, I want to get away from it.
56-55.
I heard a couple of. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard Mr. Collins. He was kind of like, kind of sounded like he was so animated over here while he was into the game.
Very animated.
It seems like he was into it.
Very much so. Of course, a Hall of Fame basketball coach, so a wealth of knowledge.
He's done a lot for South Jersey.
No doubt about it.
You know, especially me being a South. I say we.
Johnson looks for Gauze, and it's Breaker.
But he's done. I mean, we usually don't have too many guys that sit up in the big house with, you know, where, you know, Mr. Collins did a great job up there. And speaking for South Jersey.
Look at Cook. Better clarify that comment about the big house.
That's what I thought I was.
58-55.
He snuck in that horn, you know.
That's right. And foul committed here by Glassboro. Gauze will head to the free throw line. 58-55, and this game was.
This has been fun.
It really has. You know, Glassboro, I don't think they thought that they would be in this situation coming off that poor start.
Well, I'll tell you what, and let alone the free throw shooting.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely horrendous. Horrendous free throw shooting tonight from Glassboro. And they have a 3-point lead. They'd be lucky to be in this game, let alone having a lead with their foul shooting. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's been as bad as I've ever seen it in a boys basketball game. Or a girls basketball game, or any game.
I have him 2 for 10.
It's like that game you play down at you know, like at a carnival, where it's absolutely virtually impossible to get it in.
That's right. Foul committed here by Turner.
I think George Johnson made one earlier. I was going to go out and run and give him a prize.
Yeah, a car.
We're poking fun at the Glassboro guys, but they've played a heck of a night. I mean, these guys have really come out and been the aggressors, playing good basketball on the defensive end, moving around pretty well offensively. and going to the hoop, and that's exactly the way you have to play this team. They're doing pretty well.
Gauze off the glass, rebound Johnson. He has been ice cold. Pull up jump shot, Rhodes, good. Rhodes with 4. Gauze has it knocked away. Here's Turner with Rhodes. Turner drives, and a foul committed. Rosenfeld with the foul.
Tell you what, this little guy here, Mike Turner, a junior, 5'8", has played outstanding tonight. This guy's really come to play. His emotions are on the court right now, and he's been exciting. You know, I think really Darrell Rhodes is kind of deking Paul Gauze, getting him out of his game a little bit. There's a lot of talking out there, and I got a chance to just kick back and watch the game for that quarter. And you can see there's a lot of talking on the court, a lot of words between these two teams. And like I said earlier, these are two teams. He just won a big Elmo, is what he just won with that free throw.
Big Elmo. He's 2 for 3 from the line tonight. The rest of his teammates collectively.
He's going for the 4-foot SpongeBob with this one.
That's right. No good.
It's pretty tough to win these SpongeBob.
He's going to stick with Elmo. 61-56, Gauze. Kicks to Hoyer. Hoyer for 3. No good. Tipped up, Gauze. Follow, good.
Their touch has been pretty off tonight, Schalick. Especially Gauze. He doesn't have a shot from the outside.
Well, in fact, the former speaker said this is the worst I've seen Paul Gauze shoot in 4 years.
He may not dunk again.
That's right. Here's Breaker. Breaker, pull up, jump shot. Rims out, follow. No good. Jamar Johnson with the rebound. George Johnson could not connect. And now Gauze with the charge.
As fans are coming out of the seats. They've been wanting that all night against Gauze. See Gauze, and sometimes a lot of people think he should be called for this, as he kind of lowers the shoulder a little bit. That's a good call. You can see him right there leaning in.
(61-58), Glassboro with the edge. 5:07 left, fourth quarter. Simmons with the basketball, working against Johnson. Simmons up top to Cook. Cook, he's fouled. Cook will head to the free throw line, and he's contributed to the poor foul shooting. He's 0 for 2. But despite that, 20 points tonight for Cook.
There's a lot of things you could say about Tim Cook, and one of them is this is a good kid on the free throw line. This is one of them kids that come through your program, Rob, that you really like. I know Coach Winsett really appreciates what Tim Cook brings on the court, but also off the court. One of those kids you like to have as a leader of the team.
He hits both. 63-58, excuse me. A lot of basketball to play here. 5 minutes left. Gauze across the timeline, working against Rhodes. Pull-up jump shot for 3, no good. Rebound knocked away. Mitchell off the glass, no good. Mitchell again. One-hander, no good. Tipped up, and it's Gauze. Gauze, three-point shot, no good. Glassboro with numbers. Cook has a man by himself. Rhodes lays it up and in.
Wow, things have totally changed here in this second half. Now Glassboro holding a 7-point lead. What a play by Gauze. What great body control.
Well, that's why Schalick is never out of it. Cook with his second foul tonight.
I mean, look at the Schalick team they got on. They don't look like an opposing team, do they? But they just seem to play the style of basketball that Collins has instituted. And of course it helps to have Gauze on the team, and they just do so well running through the Tri-County Conference Classic.
Gauze steals it, runs into the ref. Here's Gauze. Gauze fouled and good! Poor decision there, and Gauze will try to draw Schalick back to within one. With that drive, Gauze has really quieted this crowd.
This is taking a look at that last play he had. Runs into the ref. And look, you can see him there waiting for the contact, hoping someone would come back so he can try and attempt at a three-point play, unable to convert.
Gauze misses the free throw, 65-63, wildly thrown away by Turner. And Schalick now can come back and tie this basketball game. This last minute has taken an eternity. 4:07 left, 65-63.
Schalick wants you to play into their hands that way. They want you to play out of control because they hustle so much. It's hard to get those really pretty plays against. You just got to work hard, get it down underneath, and you can score against this team.
Hoyer, pull-up jump shot, rims in and out. Big rebound by Turner. And a foul, no, a walk. That was actually Rodney Shepard.
Yeah, the fans are complaining, but this is the way they've been calling it all night. So, I mean, you really can't complain about how, because they're consistent. They're letting them play out there. You got to pull down that rebound, use your body, and clear it out.
Hoyer finds the open man at short. Rebound, Mills. Mills has it stolen away. Long baseball pass, tipped away. Good hustle by Hoyer. You know, getting back to your point, it's an excellent point. They've really let him play tonight. And, you know, the thing is that in many ways it benefits Glassboro because Schalick typically goes 10 deep.
Yeah, you're right. And but the one thing is you really can't, you can't, when you just want consistency.
Right.
In any sport that you play, you being a baseball coach, you know that. If the guy's going to call this outside strike, you just want it to be called every time. And that's what they're doing here. They've been letting them play from the beginning, and it's made for an exciting game.
And a little push, this will go. And I believe that'll send Gauze to the free throw line, a 1-and-1.
You just got to make sure it doesn't get out of hand because there's been a little bit of wolfing on the court. You don't want to get it to be an out of control situation. You get a little scuffle and then, you know. That's why you just got to make sure you keep it under control and keep talking to the players. Let them play. Let them have some fun out there.
Gauze, he's been having a tough go of it tonight from the free throw line as well. Johnson, finally, across the timeline. Turner, penetration. Foul committed by Hoyer.
See, and that's it right there. You're not getting the foul called against you. So what does George Johnson do? Use his body to try to clear everybody out of the way.
Well, just 5 of 9 tonight from the free throw line for Gauze, and that's atypical for him.
Yeah, now you've missed a lot of free throws throughout the game, but these are the ones that can turn this possible W and an upset win into a loss in a hurry. And on the opposite side, same, yes, like I could say that. On the opposite side, it's also for Schalick. You have to hit your free throws. Paul Gauze, you know, you're the big star on this team. You have to make sure you drop them freebies when you get the chance.
11 misses tonight from the free throw line for Glassboro. 6 misses tonight for Schalick from the free throw line. 68-63. Glassboro and Schalick. And finally, it's what we said before, you can finally exhale. It's been quite a basketball game, Shawn.
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun watching these two teams go at it. And again, it really started on the football field. We did that game here at Glassboro. We did the Schalick game 2 years ago at Schalick, the football game. And it's just, these are a lot of kids. You got George Johnson. You know, you got Darrell Rhodes who played football. And there's Tim Cook. There's a lot of guys that played football. Tim Cook might not have been one of them. But needless to say, there's a lot of Paul Gauze, Jeff Hoyer, Badger. These are a lot of guys that played both sports, and it starts there. And it's kind of fun to watch these rivalries take place and run through because these kids know each other so much.
Very well. 3:07 left. 68-63, and Glassboro goes into a bit of a press, and now they'll pull it back. Here's Hoyer working against Turner. Schalick trailing by 5. They started the game leading 9-0. Gauze, an air ball. Turner working against Gauze, stolen away. Gauze pushes it up. Look at that speed. Gauze penetrates off the glass and good. You see that extra gear. Hoyer steals it now. Hoyer kicks to Gauze. Gauze jump shot, one-hander, no good. Jamar Johnson knocked away. But did you see that little extra gear that only Paul Gauze has?
But it's almost, he says, we need to score here. I'm going to score. You're either going to foul me or I'm going to score. And that's what makes this team so good, especially in these situations where they can come back now trailing only by a point, where it was 7 just a minute ago. They almost turn it over, get a turnover here.
Defensive breakdown, and the timeout is called by Glassboro. 68-67 now.
That's a good timeout by Coach Winston. Right now, your team's playing a little out of control. You've let this team get back into it by playing out of control. You have a 7-point lead with 4 minutes left. You got to play controlled basketball, get looks, work the clock a little bit. When you got the lead, I know you've developed this lead by playing aggressive, but you got a pretty good team on the opposite side here. You got to really start thinking, using your head. Let's just play good defense, work the ball around, try to get it inside to our big guys and make a big score. That's what they need to do in this possession. Try to work it down. Tim Cook.
One of the things that doesn't bode well for Glassboro is their poor free throw shooting. Down here at the end, it's going to come down to free throw shooting.
You're exactly right. And if I'm Schalick, I'm saying I'm putting these guys on the line, right? I'm just going to foul them. I'm going to make them beat me because they've shown tonight that they can't hit a free throw.
Well, you can see Schalick really pulled out with that quick first quarter, but Glassboro has scratched and clawed their way back.
Yeah, Schalick jumped down, looked like they were going to own this game. A 20-point win at home earlier this year. They jumped down. But Glassboro has really, like you said, scratched and clawed their way back and played great defense that got them back into this game.
Cook triple team, stolen away by Mills. Mills feeds, it's Gauze. Foul, no, it's a travel.
Yeah, and that's good defense by Darrell Rhodes. Holds his ground, he's been doing it. He's frustrating Gauze. He's been frustrating. And as again, these two have been going out on the football field. Darrell talking to him a little bit, trying to get in his head.
68-67, we're underneath 2 minutes now. Simmons on the wing, he'll look to penetrate. Turner kicks to Cook. Cook will penetrate. No. Up top, Turner swings to Simmons. Darrell Rhodes inside the 3. No good. Rebound, Cook. Turnaround, no good. Tipped up. Knocked out by Hoyer.
Good possession so far for Glassboro. Working the ball around, and that's what happens. When you have that work, when you're working the ball around, the defense is moving. So that's where you can get that weak side defensive rebound because Schalick's moving, you're bigger than they are. You get a good shot, and then you can also get the rebound. That's what working the ball around gets through.
Cook, rebound, Gauze, feeds Mills. Mills lays it up, tries to save, does. No, he's out on the baseline. And they're saying Turner is out on the baseline, so Schalick will maintain possession. Right now, Turner and Hoyer jabbering back and forth with one another. 68-67, 89 seconds left. 3-point shot, no good. Wild rebound, Rhodes.
It's a good look, though. He had the open look.
Rhodes kicks to the wing. Simmons will look to penetrate. Turnaround move off glass, no good. Johnson follows. George Johnson with his first 2 of the 4th quarter. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound, Rhodes. Turner has it knocked away. And a foul call. Well, again, we said it will come down to free throw shooting. And it's going to be Turner, who's 50% tonight from the free throw line. Believe it or not, he's their best free throw shooter tonight.
Well, these are 2 big ones here. This is where your heart's racing, you're nervous, you're up 3. You made your upset, you just got to calm down and make sure you get your legs. You can see he's just upset with himself right now. It's where you got to, and again, one of your leaders, Tim Cook, comes over and talks to him. You just got to calm down, compose yourself, and get your legs. Just think about your stroke. Now that time he bent his legs, nice, good stroke. It falls for him.
71-67, 1 minute remaining. Here's Gauze. Gauze working against Simmons. Long three-point shot, he's fouled. And that'll be 3 shots. Poor foul, Brandon Simmons.
That is exactly what Russ Winsett didn't want his team to do. Although,
it's funny because, you know, we were talking before about how composed Sean Collins is. Russ Winsett very composed. Very easy to lose your cool in this situation. A poor decision by Simmons, and very calm, cool, and collected. Winsett illustrating some confidence in his team. Gauze hits.
Gauze, he's a money player. This is a guy who comes up to the line. He's used to being in these situations, playing in Nike camps, playing different types of leagues, that he's used to this situation.
Hits all 3.
He didn't even touch the rim.
71-70, 56.5 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Paul Gauze whittling down the lead, and Paul Gauze has really taken over in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's been a monster so far here in the fourth quarter. It's almost like he said, all right, we're behind. Now, guys, I got to take it on myself. I can't really worry trying to get you guys involved. I got to score.
Gauze with 13 points in the fourth quarter, 26 points on the evening, and that's below his average.
He's averaging 32 coming in. So you can see he's been a little cold, especially from the outside. He hasn't really been down to how many three-pointers he has tonight, if he has any.
He has 1. No, he has none. No three-pointers. And again, as you know, the Speaker of the House said, this is the worst he's seen Paul Gauze shoot. Not a good night for him, but again, it speaks volumes about this Schalick team because the other role players have really picked up their game.
I believe me, Speaker of the House. And that's any house,
that's
you know
right.
what I mean? South Jersey, he can speak in any house.
Well, if you're Glassboro here, obviously you have to maintain your composure as you get that press by Schalick. And most importantly, Sean, let's face it, they've got to hit free throws. Turner, double team, tied up. And timeout called by Glassboro.
Yeah, I think Coach Winsett's the one that yelled that one out.
Everybody held their breath there, waiting to see what the call was going to be. It was a timeout by Glassboro here with 54, or under a minute to play. Well, again, if you're Russ Winsett, what's your discussion here?
I say try to work the ball around. You want the guards to handle the basketball. Let the guards handle the basketball. When Schalick collapses, don't try and go over the top, because that's what Schalick does. They wait and anticipate as good as any team you're going to see in South Jersey. They move very well and focus in on where that person's going with the ball, and then they go for it. They go for the steals. You need to try and work the ball around, use the bounce pass, and move it inside. Try to get the ball in Tim Cook's hands somewhere on the inside. We saw it earlier. You move the ball around. Good things can only happen in that situation. You're going to get a good open look. You're going to keep Schalick moving around, and you might be able to get a weak side rebound, some type of a putback, even if they do miss.
50 seconds left. Turner with the basketball, working against Gauze. Turner looks to penetrate, dishes to Rhodes. And they're going to play keep away. Here's Cook. Cook finds Turner. Turner to Rhodes. Rhodes back to Cook. Down to 30 seconds. Cook. And he feeds Turner. Turner over to Rhodes. Here's Cook up top, down to 21 seconds, and now the foul committed. Well, Cook is their best free throw shooter tonight at 50%. 2 for 4. He hit the last 2.
That's great patience. I mean, that time they didn't even go for try to work the ball inside and try and score on him. That time they're just moving the ball around, holding the 1-point lead. Let's try. I mean, we haven't done so well at the line tonight. So Coach Winston's saying, let's just try and get it in Cook's hands and see if they can drain a couple. Obviously bringing the big fella back, they're pretty confident with his free throw shooting.
Well, Cook misses the first one, so they'll need to hit this one here. 20.8 seconds remain. Cook, no good, rebound Gauze. 71-70, Gauze behind the back dribble, looks to penetrate, kicks Hines Mills, no good, tipped up, rebound. Schalick with the basketball, and a timeout is called by Schalick with 7.9 seconds remaining.
We saw somebody else call a timeout for Glassboro. Coach Winston, that time a good timeout from the bench because it looked like Schalick might have tried to walk. They were fighting each other for the ball and the rebound.
Well, we promised an electric game. It's been everything and then some. 71-70. You saw Gauze, again, really converged on a solid play defensively by Glassboro. Found the open man, and Mills just missed the 8-footer.
He had a chip, he just couldn't put it down. Then Schalick fighting, and again, these guys aren't really opposing guys out there. You got to give them some credit the way they've been fighting, trying to at least work underneath the basket, work hard, because Glassboro should be able to dominate them underneath, and they have pretty much throughout the game. But when it comes down to it, 7 seconds left, you need to try and work the rebound. Them guys are fighting.
Well, one of these teams is going to go home heartbroken because they have really fought throughout the evening.
You're exactly right. You're exactly. I mean, both teams will be devastated with this loss, and well, they should be. Schalick going out to the early lead, then losing it. Glassboro, the way they fought back in an upset situation, up by 7 with 4 minutes left. Could have put this game away with free throws, not able to do it.
Boyer looking to inbound, tipped up, stolen by Johnson, and he's fouled.
Tim Cook.
Well, Johnson will head to the free throw line, and here you see Cook. That's why you have him there.
The high jump. He says he's going to do 7 feet this year. He's showing his ups on that play. Creates the turnover. Now George Johnson with a chance to put them up by 3.
But remember, that's still a one-possession game. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. The first shot is good.
TJ with ice in his veins right now.
These stands are ready to erupt. Johnson.
Good. Terrific form.
Here's Gauze now. Gauze, long three-point shot, wild off the back of the rim. And that'll do it. Glassboro victorious, 73-70. Well, you can
see how much this game meant to this Glassboro program. They've suffered losses to Schalick the last couple of years, not only in this sport, but in the other ones, football. To name just one.
Well, stick around. We'll have post-game interviews and a wrap-up. Your final 73-70 Bulldogs with the upset.
Welcome back to Glassboro High School. Glassboro victorious 73-70 over Schalick. An exciting basketball game here with winning head coach Russ Winstead. You know, Coach, I'm not sure if we witnessed a track meet or a boxing match, but I do know that you either crossed the finish line first or you're the last man standing. What a ball game.
Yeah, we had a good idea that would be a fast-paced game, you know, with all the athletes on the floor. And we've really been struggling from the free throw line. I'm thankful that we were able to put him in when it counted.
Well, you got off to a very slow start. You said that was one of the keys to get off to a better start. You had to worry about that.
Yeah, you know, we had to use a couple of early timeouts, and, you know, putting it mildly, I expressed my disinterest in what was going on out there. And, you know, I give it credit to the kids. They responded to it. You know, when this team gets ahead on you, with a player like Gauze, it's really tough to come out of a hole. And I just give our guys credit and total team effort. And hadn't looked at the box score yet, but, you know, we shared the basketball, we played team defense, and got the job done for us.
Well, you have to feel good about this game. Coming off a very difficult loss to Wildwood shows the resiliency of this team.
Absolutely. You know, we got a senior-laden team, 7 seniors on this basketball team, and, you know, we've had to persevere a little bit. You know, the 7 wins prior to this obviously are you know, we feel good about them, but we were ready to step in and beat a good team.
Well, congratulations again, Coach. Let's go over to Shawn Leary with our player of the game.
And we could probably name a couple guys as our player of the game tonight. A lot of people played really well for Glassboro, and one of them right here is Tim Cook, one of the leaders of this team. Just, I mean, the emotion you can see came out on the court. This was a big game for you guys.
It's really big. I can't even describe it. We went in a little slump during the season, lost 2 or 3 games in a row. We lost to Salem. And really, we got down on ourselves, I have to say. Practice, we had the worst practice. The other day, we had a 3-hour practice because nobody could make a free throw. We saw in the game, we couldn't really make free throws either, but this is a big win. I think it's a turning point in our season. It gets back on track.
Yeah, we were razzing you guys a little bit over here. What's up with the free throws?
I don't know. I think I'm an okay free throw shooter. I couldn't make a thing. Practice, I couldn't make a thing. Last game, I was 1 for 4. I don't know. It's going around. It's like a bug.
It's like a little bug. It is going around. It's always going around. Let me tell you something, Tim. You guys have, I mean, this was a big win for you guys. I was really impressed with how well you played defense tonight, especially on Gauze. What was your game plan coming in to play dig?
Well, originally we were going to run a 3-2. One possession, we threw it out the window. And we said, let's D up. We had Brandon Simmons on him. He did a great job. Darrell Rose, great job. Try to keep Gauze in front of us and try to get that charge. We got it once or twice, but try to contain him and watch out for his other players.
What could this win do for you guys from here on out?
I think it gives us a big burst for the rest of the season. We got a big game Thursday against Salem. That'll get us going. Next week we have another 2 home games, and then we play Burlington City. So we need to get as much behind us as we can, try to get ready to get a good season in the playoffs.
Well, I want to congratulate you. An excellent season so far, and hopefully Group 1, you might be able to meet these guys down the road.
We're Group 2 actually, so.
Well, yeah, that's right. So we'll skip that.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I wish we were Group 1.
Well, maybe they may play in Group 1, and you guys will play in Group 2. We'll see what happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I think that bug he's talking about. I think I got it in my head. Yeah. Well, Rob, it's an excellent job for Glassboro tonight. I mean, they came out, and I was really impressed with the defense that they played against this team, and the way they worked the ball down low.
No question about it. A big victory here tonight for the Glassboro Bulldogs. 73-70 the final. For my partner, Shawn Leary, I'm Rob Christ. My director, Kevin Lamastro. The whole gang. Thank you very much. Exciting game. Good night, everybody.